I have a feeling you clicked on this video because you love Coral Island as much as I do. If you haven't seen the first part of the diverse dating series, I will link it here for you so you can watch it. But this is part 2, the second half of the 20 confirmed dateable characters. We still have 2 merfolk.
That was a stretch goal.
So in total, there's 22 dateable characters in this entire game. It's incredible, and they're awesome. So let's talk about him. Noah was born, raised, and settled here on Coral Island, so he is not new. Although he did take a quick trip to go to uni, he's back and ready to settle down. He would much rather take care of his mom.
I love this, a family man.
But instead spends most of his time in his adorable khakis and polo working at the tavern. It's been leaked that he and Alice seem very into
Unexplainable phenomenon?
I do want to take a quick second to talk about Noah's hair. This has been something other gaming franchises have had an incredibly hard time with. However, I'm loving the renderings of Noah's hair, and I'm so hopeful that he will look this amazing actually in the game. Nina's a really interesting character. She's so classic and chic looking. She looks like she likes expensive things and can be described as lavish.
Same girl.
The interesting thing is that Nina, although she's a character in this game, doesn't technically live on Coral Island. She's left and only occasionally visits and stays at the abandoned villa.
Strange, right?
So this will be really interesting. How can you romance someone who's hardly ever there? What will it be like? Will she be there sometimes and not others? All right, let's talk about Pablo.
Pablo.
He's a little bit of a Casanova, but can also be considered a romantic at heart. One thing that I really want to point out about Pablo is actually his name. A lot of the characters seem to have really English or Americanized names. However, I love that there are some that don't. And Pablo is just one example of that. A name from another culture making its way into an awesome game. Next up is Rafael. He is the younger brother of Pablo and much more introverted. If Pablo is an extrovert, Rafael is an introvert, and he is becoming one of the most eligible bachelors in the Coral Island Discord. There is a lot of fan art out there, and lots of people are falling in love with Raf. I personally think Raf's likes are really humorous: weaponry, horror movies, and silence.
What an introvert.
We've talked about body type on this channel before, but I just want to point it out on Raf as well. He has this kind of strong dad bod that's a little bit softer, but he's still one of the most eligible bachelors in town. And I love that we have different body types for both men and women in this game, as well as skin tones, names, etc. It's just one of the many things that this game is offering and other people are connecting with. Suki's backstory is so interesting. Suki has a daughter, Valentina. Valentina's last name is Sanchez. Pablo, Rafael's last name, is also Sanchez. Rafael is Valentina's uncle. Does that make Pablo the dad? Is there another brother?
And so many questions.
Either way, Suki is divorced, living on her own, and focusing on work, exercise, and developing a great co-parenting relationship with her ex.
Whoever that is.
She runs the Coral Inn with her sister Alice, who we have talked about in a previous video. But the thing that's drawing the most attention with Suki is her gorgeous pastel hair and the incredible stretch marks that run down her body. She has these beautiful tiger stripes all down her torso that so many people relate to. I think a lot of people assume women are the only ones that can have these torso stretch marks, but so many men have them too.
So, thank you, Stairway Games,
for giving us such relatable characters. Surya. Surya seems a little bit younger than the rest to me. He is a bright and shiny, brand new marine biologist doing his fellowship here on Coral Island. Just like you and I, he's brand new to the island. One of the townies, Ling, is doing a research project, and Surya jumped at the chance to be a part of it. He's good friends with Luke, is living here with his aunt and uncle who are native to the island, and works at the lab every weekday. Surya is so cute. I've actually not heard the name Surya before, so I did look it up and it seems to be a Hindi name meaning sun god. And I think that's such a cool addition to this Coral Island game. Scott seems a little bit out of place here on Coral Island. He's a city boy at heart, and after experiencing several breakups in the city, he decided he didn't want to be known forever as a playboy. So he packed his bags, moved to Coral Island, and is renting a room from dear sweet Charles.
Charles.
Scott and I both love strong coffee, rainy days, but he also likes vintage jazz. Not my thing, but that's okay. All right, it's time to talk about Theo. Theo is Lily's brother and lives with them all in their family house. The really interesting and kind of diverse thing about Theo here is that he's actually a sober character. He does go to the tavern to perform. He's a singer, although some say not a good one. I think that's a very specific quality or characteristic to give one of the romanceable characters. I think that's really, really nice, Stairway Games. You are looking for opportunities to make connections with the people who will be playing your game, and that is one thing that you've added to someone's backstory that will connect with your players. So again, I say this a lot.
Thank you.
Yuri is one of my favorite characters in this game, and while I may not be romancing her, I definitely plan on befriending her. I hope that more doctors in the future will be able to look like Yuri. Her tattoos, her piercings, her incredible pastel hair does not define who she is or her intelligence. Thank you, Stairway Games, for giving us this really cool, really hip, really awesome, intelligent woman. One of the awesome things about her backstory is that she actually doesn't come to Coral Island with a ton of money. What she does bring is incredible experience. In her 20s, she worked as a doctor without borders, essentially. And so she has seen a lot of things, she has done a lot of things, and she brings a lot of value, a lot of diversity, a lot of culture with her when she comes to Coral Island. Last but not least is Zara. Zara is one of the most intriguing characters, probably because we know very little about her. She grew up on the other side of Coral Island, and while she doesn't have a home on land in Coral Island, she does live in a boat. If you'd like to visit her, her boat is in the beach area of the map, according to the wiki. However, there's lots that can still change or happen. When her boat is not there, it's presumed that she's visiting her family on the other side of the island. However, because so much is unknown about her former location, it's really hard to say where she actually is. Let me know in the comments below which character so far is the most intriguing character to you. I'd love to know. There's so many good ones. And if you have ideas for future videos, I'd love to talk to you in the comments. Bye, everyone.